Hey there, now that we are beginning to get out a little bit and some of the restrictions have been lifted in different states around the country, I know that we are all really very much aware of the need to really keep things clean. I think that we have all learned this year how to clean and sanitize our homes and our hands in ways that we never would have thought about even a year and a half ago. So when you are thinking about your own home and the toys that you carry around in your diaper bag or in the car, or the things that you've got out on the shelf for your baby to play with or your toddler to play with, it's really important for us to think about how clean those things are. And when it's just your kid playing with them, it's pretty much okay, it's really no big deal. But when families come to visit, other children come to your home, neighbor kids come by and they play with your kids' toys, you might want to consider cleaning them afterwards and just giving them a quick sanitizing. And so today I just wanted to talk with you about some different ways that you can sanitize the toys that you have at your house. There's a lot of different products out there, obviously. This is probably Clorox Cleanup is one that we use around here all the time. These are labeled 99% of bacteria and viruses are killed. I just want to point out it's really important to read the instructions. I have looked at the instructions here, and you have to keep the spray. You have to spray it from a certain distance and keep it on the surface for 30 seconds before you wipe it down in order for it to clean properly. And so that is just something that's really important to think about as you are using products like these. Just rubbing alcohol is another great way to sanitize and kill the germs that are on surfaces. Hydrogen peroxide, a baking soda paste is a way. It may not sanitize as much, but it will certainly clean surfaces really well. But I worked in child care and I have trained and run child care centers for my whole career. And here's what we use. We use bleach water. And it's the least expensive and the most effective way to clean your toys. And so you can just use the recipe that we've got here in the quantities. It depends on the amount of water, the size of your container. It's a very, very small amount of bleach with a pretty good amount of water. And you can just mix this solution, spray it on your toys, and just wipe it off. You could even spray it on a paper towel and wipe a toy off. Kind of depends on the toy. We used to just fill a sink in our classroom and put all of the baby toys in it, the ones that didn't have holes in them, where they would collect water, and just let them soak for 10 minutes and then put them out to air dry, and that got everything really clean. Bleach water, in my opinion, is the most effective way. If you mix it correctly, it's not going to spot your clothes, because you don't need so much that it would spot your clothes. If it's spotting your clothes, that means you haven't mixed it too strong. And also another thing you need to remember about bleach water, making your own, is that it needs to be made fresh every day. In the child care world, it's just a given. You dump it out and you make new every day. At your home, you might want to, consider this as you are thinking about using that as an option. But it's perfectly safe for children because it is so diluted. It's not going to hurt anybody if they happen to get a little bit of this liquid on their hands or their skin. It's not going to be anything that would irritate. So you would want to clean and sterilize your toys if you have another child come over, especially if it's another baby who's in the oral stage of development and putting everything in their mouth. Those are the toys you would definitely want to clean. That would be one reason you'd clean your toys. Another reason you might want to disinfect and sanitize toys is if you like to go to the secondhand store, which I do. I love to go to places where they are selling used toys, and I have found some of the best things I've ever had for my kids at these type of places. And so I went to Goodwill the other day and Salvation Army. We have both of those in our community. Went over and just looked through the toy section, and I just wanted to give you some pointers on how to select a great toy at one of these kinds of places. For one, you want to make sure it works. And so I looked at several different puzzles for toddlers that were really cute, and I thought they would be neat, but they didn't have all the pieces. And so be sure to count the pieces, make sure it's got all the pieces for the puzzles. If you're gonna look at books to purchase, you wanna make sure that all the pages are there and that there's not pages torn out. Many great children's toys have a reaction to an action, like you push this and something comes up. Well, those are the best toys for infants and toddlers because it gives them, you know, an interaction with that toy. But sometimes those little mechanisms break, so you want to make sure that those things work. So I picked up some great things, and I just want to point out why I selected these things. Well, this one isn't obvious, you know, given. Everybody loves balls. You can always use new balls, but this one is really nice because it has such great texture to it. And I have a collection of balls in my house, and I like to pull them out anytime some kid comes over because I love to play ball with kids. It's really fun. So this is a great one. It does have a place where I can refill it with air because it is kind of squishy. I'll probably refill it sometime with a ball pump for like soccer balls. This is another excellent toy, an excellent find. This costs $1.99 at the used store. And this one is really easy to clean. I'm gonna give this little string a really good working over because it's kind of brown, it's been used. And of course, you know, the handle, every surface of this will be able to be cleaned. The plastic surfaces are real easy to clean. With the metal surfaces, you want to just kind of take a look at those carefully, and you might want to wipe those separately, even making sure that you're using the right cleaning solution for metal. Just check the label and make sure it's not going to do something to the metal. But this is a great toy. This is just a standard. The next one, just any kind of baby rattles. Obviously, you would always just, you know, clean these really well. I would just use bleach water with this one as well. And then I got this one. This one is all metal, but I couldn't pass it up, you know. You just can't pass up a Jack in the Box, right? Remind you of a movie? Anyways, Jack in the Box is a really fun toy for a child who's probably around 3-ish, maybe 4. For children younger than that, it might be just a little bit too startling, but that's a great toy, and it was a great find at the Goodwill. So you might want to know, how often should you clean your toys for your baby? Well, I would say, probably about every couple of weeks if they are in a very oral stage of development. If you've got animals in the house, of course, that's going to determine, you know, you might clean a little bit more often. You just can use your best judgment. And especially if your child is sick, that's a great time to sanitize and Lysol all of your surfaces, all of the places where your hands are touching and babies are putting their mouths and all of that. So probably about every 2 weeks would be fine when everyone's healthy. And if somebody gets sick, then you would want to clean everything really well after that. You also might want to clean if you have visitors come to your house, just in case. Clean before they come and then clean after they come if you have the time. But here's the truth. Don't worry too much about germs. I mean, I know the COVID germs are pretty bad, and that is definitely something for us to be keenly aware of. But aside from that, just the everyday putting in your mouth, the way that a baby's pacifier will drop on the floor and you rinse it in the sink, or just all of the germs, all of the stuff that goes in children's mouths. It's been happening forever and eternity, and we've all survived. We all put all that junk in our mouth. Your parents could probably tell you stories of the things that you ate when you were a baby and you survived. And so I just encourage you to not worry too much about the germs. They are there. They really do allow us to be healthier by having some resistance and resilience within our own immune system. So in conclusion, I have a little tool attached to this video that has some suggestions on different products that you would use for different kinds of toys and different surfaces. And so take a look at that and make yourself some bleach water to have around the house and stay healthy. Bye-bye.